Meanwhile, something happened in the Middle East today that hasn't happened in a very, very long time. Celebrations erupted in Israel and Gaza at the same time after Israel and Hamas agreed to the first phase of President Trump's peace plan. Israeli Ambassador to the United States, Yechiel Leiter, joins me now. Mr. Ambassador, I appreciate the time. Tell me, how did this peace deal come about, and how fragile do you perceive it to be?
Well, I think it came about two major vectors. The first, of course, is President Trump's personal involvement and the pressure that he placed on the Arab states that are hosting Hamas and had the ability to put the pressure on Hamas, particularly Qatar and Turkey, but Egypt as well. And basically, he read them the riot act and said they've got to bring Hamas to the table now. He wants this over. And that's something that they followed through on and deserve considerable amount of credit for having done so. The second vector is, of course, the IDF. And without military pressure on Gaza City, the last stronghold of Hamas, they wouldn't have come to the table. So it was Hamas being under pressure, both diplomatically from the President of the United States and militarily from the IDF under Prime Minister Netanyahu's instruction, that this was able to congeal and come together. Is it fragile? It's always fragile when we're dealing with a terrorist organization such as Hamas. And just today, as we were going into the ceasefire mode, one of their terrorists killed one of our soldiers just a few hours ago. That's, of course, going to necessitate some degree of retaliation. So this could spiral, but we are very, very hopeful. We're full of prayer that by Monday, Tuesday, we'll see the 20 living hostages and at least most of the dead hostages returned to us.
Mr. Ambassador, how will the world know it's working, or how might it detect that it's unraveling?
Well, look, an incident like this morning, if there's going to be continued shooting, by Hamas, then it's going to be unraveling. Hopefully, that's not going to be the case. Ultimately, the plan has to move from phase one to phase two. And phase two means what the Prime Minister of Israel has been saying now for 2 years. Gaza cannot remain a jihadi stronghold. Hamas has to be disarmed. That's part of the plan. And Gaza demilitarized. If the world follows through on that plan, which sees Hamas disarmed completely and Gaza as a whole de-radicalized and demilitarized by an international agency headed by President Trump, then we're going to know that it's working.
And do you have confidence, Mr. Ambassador, to the point you just raised, that Hamas will leave Gaza and you will know that all of Hamas has left Gaza and will not return indirectly or directly?
We have to hope so. I mean, leave, whether it's leave physically or leave any status of power within Gaza. Look, most of the leadership of Hamas has been eliminated. Those that remain have to remain outside the contours of power. And that goes for the Palestinian Authority as well. They can't be in charge of Gaza. They were given Gaza by us in 2006, and within a year, the Gazans voted in Hamas, and Hamas dropped the Palestinian Authority officers off rooftops and just basically threw them out, took over, and have been dominating Hamas for 20 years, have been dominating Gaza for 20 years. So this can't return. We can't return to the same pattern. We are a tiny country, and we simply cannot have jihadis at our border, whether it's in Gaza, whether it's in Lebanon or in the Syrian border. We've made it very clear. October 7th has taught us, the Prime Minister has repeated this again and again. October 7th has taught us that we cannot have jihadi militants sitting at our border. And that's ultimately what we want to achieve here. A different type of life for the Gazans, a different type of border for Israel, and hopefully the beginning of a process that can lead to peace throughout the region.
As you know, Mr. Ambassador, things were different on October 6th. There were efforts by the Netanyahu government to subsidize Hamas, understanding or thinking that that would placate them. There was much more emphasis on the West Bank, but October 7th changed everything. Were there miscalculations within Israel before October 7th?
Well, we did have a situation where our intel community believed that Hamas had no intentions of attacking. So to that degree, there were some mistakes. It was a perfect storm on October 7th. I mean, everything failed that morning, but we reconstituted very quickly. I mean, our young soldiers, even before they actually had orders, ran into their cars, took their weapons, and went racing south so that the onslaught that Hamas was implementing in the south was stopped. Had literally thousands of our young men and women not taken the initiative, who knows? Hamas would have reached Tel Aviv. But we have a tremendous young generation. They've proven themselves over these past 2 years, and they stopped the Hamas onslaught, and basically they brought this war to a conclusion through their determination. We've lost some 900 soldiers. One of them was my oldest son, who led the forces into Gaza right after October 7th. And we're missing them very much, but we're also very proud because they've ensured that we're going to be able to go on in safe and security.
As best you understand it, Mr. Ambassador, how will the hostage release occur, and do you expect President Trump to be there?
Well, we're actually talking to the White House right now. I just left a telephone call to meet with you, Major. But we're hoping that the president at this point will come sometime on Monday morning and stay a few hours and deliver an address at our parliament, our Knesset, and then leave perhaps for Egypt. So we're working on the details now. It'll be a great, great day when we can welcome President Trump and Israel into our Knesset and really express tremendous thanks for his personal involvement in seeing this through. And the fact that he's taken upon himself to be the president or the chairman of the Peace Board, which will rebuild Gaza without Hamas, is, I think, very telling of his personal involvement in seeing that this ultimately goes into a pattern of a large-scale peace agreement for the region.
Israeli Ambassador to the United States, Yechiel Leiter. Mr. Leiter, Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Major. Good to be with you.